Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Sound Bites for Immigration Success. We bring this series to you so you can get to know your fellow consultant, hear their story and journey, and perhaps some of their takeaway advice for you that you could take back to your own practice. My name is Monica O'Brien. I am a longtime RCIC. I look after education and stakeholder engagement at CAPIC. But more importantly, we're here to learn about our next colleague that we have in this series. So I'm so delighted to welcome Veronica. Hi, Veronica. How are you?
Hi, Monica. I'm delighted to be here too.
So first of all, tell me, how do you actually pronounce your last name?
Sepher.
Oh, Veronica Sepher. Okay, so love the fact that you're a Veronica. I'm a Monica, but I'm going to call you Vero. So, Vero, tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of what inspired you to enter the immigration space.
Okay, so my name is Veronica Sepher. I am an RCIC with a PhD. I love writing. I write in English. I dream in English. I feel and I love in Spanish, and I enjoy the occasional food in French. I think destiny found me, and I had to become an RCIC. I fought it for very long. I posted before how difficult was my journey to become a PR. I had to try 3 times. Then my sister was working in the US and she was let go. She had temporary status here in the US. So then she had to become PR, and that was painful. Then I had to sponsor my parents. And just, I had a lot of friends going through the immigration process, and it really affected me. In 2022, I was doing great in my corporate career. I was working in innovation. I love my team. That was COVID had happened. That had a lot of effect in my family, but I was doing great. I was making my base, I think at the time was 140. And then my husband had a really good opportunity, but that required us to move overseas. And then I have to stop fighting what is looking for me. And I decided to give the Queen's program a try with no expectation. I will say this, I love education. I was the eternal student, but I'm just going to give it a try and then see where that goes. And that's how my RCIC journey started.
So it sort of found you rather than you finding it, just through circumstance and your own situations and that of some of your friends and relatives. So just in the interest of getting to know you a little bit more, what is your PhD in?
My PhD was in political economy, and it was funny. I was looking for a post inspiration today, and I went back to my thesis page, and I have 800 downloads, which is nothing. I have my post impressions on LinkedIn right now are usually over 10,000 in 7 days. But political economy was my first love. And my PhD specifically was about leadership in multilateral banking. That multilateral banking is what led me to later work as a researcher at RBC. That was my first corporate role in Canada. So I studied leadership a lot, and I still believe in leadership styles. Like I see them in CAPIC when I'm doing my CPD hours, like so many
Right.
different, I think leadership is really undervalued. And I'm so glad that I spent 5 years of my life studying it. So
Well, very fascinating. And it's obvious that what you've studied and what you're doing, you sort of exhibit that in your own life and your own posts. For those who may not know Vero, she's a prolific poster on LinkedIn. So if you're looking for a good follow Vero. She posts, I would say, nearly every day, and a variety of different posts, from sort of personal reflections to new policy, maybe sharing something about your client. Tell me a little bit about Vero. You before we came live, we talked a little bit about, social media, and you chose LinkedIn as the platform that you were going to use. Tell me a little bit about that journey to come to LinkedIn and how it's sort of working for you and what it means for you.
of course, I love LinkedIn. I have everything to thank it for. And I'm actually going to post soon, which I found a post I wrote in 2013 that about LinkedIn that is still true. I think that's coming tomorrow. But I graduated, and I had another business in Canada. So I wasn't scared to get into like employment and working for myself, but I didn't have any marketing skills. And that's something that in a year, 1 year program, you cannot really grasp when you're trying to get like the legal background first. And I started following people on Twitter, X, I mean, Instagram, TikTok. I tried for a bit, I couldn't. It was a little bit too much. LinkedIn. And then I was doing that, and then I decided on LinkedIn because I studied it for 6 7 months, so it was pretty intentional. Before I started posting constantly, I I was going little by little and learning what works, what doesn't work, algorithms, um, things like that. And then that's how I started. I made some mistakes along the way. I didn't even know even at the beginning you can schedule posts. That's something I learned very quickly instead of killing myself, like trying to post. So it was trial and error. And after 3 4 months, I started seeing results.
And so for you, it's really part of your business, right? You use it as a way to inform, you use it as a way to, I presume to attract clients, um, and let them know what's happening. So for you, it's been a really successful, venture onto the platform.
Yes, for me, sorry, Monica, I think we have to stop. Somebody's like,
Okay, okay, we'll stop.
I'm sorry, somebody. Okay.
Thank you, Vero, for, sort of sharing your research and your intentional, uh, purpose of using LinkedIn. So all in all, it's been a successful foray into social media that way. You use it as a means to inform your clients, to attract your clients, as a way to sort of keep your voice relevant as well. Is that a good, accurate synopsis?
Yeah, and I think it's also a way to find my voice. I think I become more active once I saw that a lot of posts were very fear-inducing. And I'm not just talking about immigration itself, any other industry. Oh, you want to be like attract 5 leads, like do this and that. Because I was following people on LinkedIn, not necessarily in the immigration space. I was following people who were building businesses on LinkedIn. And even then, I saw a lot of fear. So I thought, let me just try something different. Let me try personal, informative mentorship, and then opportunities came my way. That's the only platform I'm in. I didn't know many people before I started, and my clients. One other thing I find is a very good quality of client. People who are there and book, they know um, what they are ready to do if you ask them to do. Like sometimes I send my clients homework and I'm like, well, go and like book another consultation again once your English score improves because you know the importance of a point now. So yeah, I have nothing, but I think LinkedIn has been working very well for me.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. That's great. That's a really good takeaway from this, especially in the terms of the quality of your client. I mean, most people on LinkedIn are professionals. They're there to see about careers, networking, advancement. So they already have an intention of being there. I guess this leads me into my next question. But before I ask that, I really liked what you said, how you saw a lot of negativity. You know, when we read the news and listen to the news, it's often the negative stuff that's reported first. People are not going to report the good stuff. So it's nice to know that it's going to be, you know, about sharing things that are positive. I really like that because the world can get pretty negative. So my next question to you is, now that you've been in the space for a year, you've got your 1 year anniversary coming up. Congratulations on that. Is there something that you wished you had known when you left Queens, or advice that you might want to say to the people who are coming in behind you? Do you have any particular takeaway advice?
I think the first advice I have is to it the process. People think you graduate from Queens and next year you're going to be practicing, but you have to write your license exam and you have to wait. Like I think from the moment I finished the program to the moment I wrote my license, it was about 7 and 8 months. So I think I used those 7 months in an okay way. Like I studied LinkedIn, for example. Like that platform might not work for everyone. You can use whatever makes your heart happy. But I also develop a little bit of knowledge on what tools I want to use. I run a very lean practice. Some people will call me cheap, but I like the tools I use. It's very helpful. So I think for people who are graduating, that's one thing you can look at right away before you wait for your license, what kind of tools you want. And the second thing, I have to be honest, is a very, very, very competitive industry. People who have been doing this for 20 years, 15 years, like 10 years, I'm like, how am I going to be like working against that and going back to like my comfy corporate salary? And I think the best advice I have is that you really need to learn how to market yourself. Like I was telling my husband the other day, because I was always scared of sales and sounding salesy and this and that. I'm like, oh, now I can't wait to start another business. Like I lost all the fear of marketing myself. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to make mistakes in the future about like when I do typos or this, or sometimes I reply too fast. I realize I have a lot of issues with the past tense when I reply, like I'm waiting for my kids and on another colleague's comment. But once you take the fear out of yourself and once you're not scared of selling, because everybody has something, if you got your license, your brain is probably amazing. So you just have to let the people know in your own way without bringing other consultants down, without inducing fear in your clients. Just be your best possible self in whatever platform you use. I think that would be my last. It sounds a little bit lovey-dovey, but I truly believe in that.
Oh, I mean, it's such a great advice, a great takeaway. And you're right. I mean, there's what, 12 or 13,000 immigration consultants right now. And it is very competitive, but really at the end of the day, there is lots of business out there. You just have to find it, and you have to find a way to make yourself a little bit different from everybody else without, as you said, taking people down. In my years, over the years, clients like to shop around a little bit, even after their application is submitted. And I've reviewed numerous applications and only to discover that they already have a representative. And when I look at the file, I say, there's nothing wrong with this file. Your representative has done a great job, and I don't think I could do anything else better. And and I always hope that if my clients are shopping my work around, I hope my colleagues will do the same thing for me when they realize, oh, Monica's done a great job. So that's uh that's I really like the fact that you're taking that way. I guess my final question to you is, oh, and the other thing is you've been a CAPIC member since you've been a student, and that's a really good piece of advice in that 6 or 7 months before you get your licenses, take that time to get to know yourself, get to know your platform, join something, join CAPIC, use all those resources and start to build your network, because that's where it really starts, where we really lean on each other. Um, where do you hope to see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I have no idea, Monica. I thought just to give you a little bit of my background, when we decided to move from the moment I quit RBC in almost my 10-year anniversary to the moment we switched our lives completely with my husband. It was a 4-week span. We found a place, we took our car from Toronto to LA. So I have no idea. And I've had 3 careers so far. So academia, corporate now. So I really love the work in immigration. I'm following AI closely. Wherever I am, I'm going to be somewhere where you need critical thinking. And if I can keep building my own personal network and use that to help others, whether it's in immigration, compliance, banking, writing, teaching, I just hope to keep doing what makes me happy and what getting my license is allowing me to do. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So making a difference, paying yourself, and loving what you do. Those are nice
that's the
things.
dream.
That's a dream. Nice things to aspire to. So my last question is, you told us a little bit about yourself. Tell us one fun fact, maybe that we can know about you.
I don't know how much fun it is, but I'm obsessed with Costco. Like I get all my
Y-
beauty products from there.
You're obsessed with Costco.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. The problem is when you go to Costco to buy two things and your budget's $100, you end up spending 500. That's my
Oh
problem.
yeah, that's a problem. But I just even from their business model, like how the hot dog had this price forever, or how like I have a lot of camping stuff that I get from Costco. We love camping. And then I see it in another like Pendleton in another place and it's like double the price. I'm like, oh my gosh. Um, so that's the kind of person I am. I always there for a good deal. Doesn't matter when I was like a broke international student to now. I think Costco is always a good deal. So I don't know how much fun fact that is, but
Oh,
that's
well.
how I am.
Well, now I'll think of you as Costco Vero. Vero, I want to thank you for your time today. It's been a pleasure to get to know you and hear your advice and your story into the immigration field. I hope we can have you back one day.
I really love that. Thank you so much, Monica.
And thank you to our audience. It's been a pleasure to have you with us. We hope that you got to enjoy getting to know Vera just like I did. And we will see you at the next one. Take care.